Hi. I heard a story the other day, a very small and simple story, but it made me think. I heard about a chap called Diogenes. Now, the story is way, way back, BC 366 or something like that, okay? Diogenes lived a life where he intentionally rejected material wealth. He lived in a barrel. But people would come and listen to him, to talk to him. And Alexander the Great heard of this great man, this philosopher, who had no care for authority and was apparently quite critical of Alexander the Great. Anyway, Alexander went to talk to him, and there he was with his entourage, and he looked down at Diogenes, who was enjoying the sunlight and having a lie down in the sun, and he said, "If I could grant you something, if there was something you could ask of me, what would it be?" And the story goes that Diogenes replied by saying, "Would you get out of my sunlight?" It's a nice story. Nobody knows if it really happened, but what a wonderful story. For me, it highlights a rejection of material wealth, but certainly it makes me wonder, what could we live without? I mean, we're not going to go around living in a barrel. My climate around here isn't good enough for that. But I certainly think we gather stuff we don't need. Not only that, we put pressure on ourselves to have stuff we don't need. I spent a little while in Uganda. Whoa, it's got to be a decade ago now. And I remember that living in a place where lots of people didn't have very much took a lot of pressure off me to constantly be wearing new stuff and dressing up because it wasn't relevant, it wasn't important. We work many hours in order to make sure we have houses that are full of stuff that, let's face it, a lot of the time we don't even use. We abandon relationships because we think that we've got to provide lots of stuff for our families. I wonder if you could rethink it. I wonder if you could declutter. I wonder if you could refocus. The pandemic helped many, many people refocus. While people weren't at work, when some people were working from home, many people worked a little bit less and started to really appreciate the time they could have back. Let's not lose that. Let's not clutter our heads and our houses with these kind of things. Let's have character goals instead of goals about the things we want. I want a big yacht and things like that. Let's have goals about being happier and having better relationships. Let's have more time for the stuff that matters.